That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Agatha All Along ended up being a much bigger hit from Disney Plus than anybody expected it to be. We talked about this on the show the other day, but they did something that very, very, very few shows on Disney Plus or any of the streaming services do. Their viewership went up every week, and the finale ended up being up 50% over the viewership of episode 1, which means everybody kept watching and more people kept jumping on board. It was a big success for them, and it was better than I thought it would be. And so I don't think it's the top tier of Marvel. I mean, that's WandaVision still to me, but then there's that next tier down where I think shows like Loki, Ms. Marvel, and now I think Agatha. I think it fits kind of in there. And then you got all the refuse that comes after that. And there is a lot of refuse. At any rate, they always kind of pushed Agatha as, and they called it, a limited series. It's a limited series. That basically means it's a one-shot thing, right? Mm-hmm. Well, not so fast. Because it looks like the people over at Disney and Marvel are now reconsidering the limited series thing, because they are submitting it to the award shows not as a limited series, but rather as a full-fledged series, comedy series. This comes to us from the folks at Screen Rant who wrote the following. According to a new report from Variety, Marvel Studios and Disney Plus are submitting Agatha All Along in the comedy series category rather than as a miniseries. Notably, the Television Academy's official criteria for the limited/miniseries category states that, quote unquote, the program must tell a complete, non-recurring story and not have an ongoing storyline or main characters in subsequent seasons. Having Agatha All Along be submitted as a comedy series thus raises the chances of a season 2 renewal. At the time of this story's publication, Sony or Marvel Studios and Disney Plus have not made any comments on Agatha All Along's future. All right. So Agatha All Along ends with, Spooky Ben and the Ghost Detectives walking out to go and find the brother, right?
Which is comic book canon. I mean, it just shifted from Wanda to Billy.
There are many things in comic book canon that I don't think they should do on screen.
Sure, but I feel like every time we talk about how silly it is, we have to go, but the comic did do it.
Mm-hmm. It's true. There is at least a version of it.
A version of it, yeah.
Is there. So it kind of felt like, okay, so we're not done with Agatha or Billy, but it may not be a season 2. It could be a 5-minute appearance in another movie that storyline gets tied off, whatever. But look, this is the same thing that happened with Shogun. Right? Because remember, Shogun, which is the best show we've had in a couple of years, I think. Shogun was supposed to be a one-shot limited series. And then word got out that they pulled it out of the limited series category and resubmitted it for best drama. That's when everybody started to speculate, I think they're going to do a season 2. And it wasn't long after that we got the announcement that season 2 was coming. This feels very, very similar to that. That I think what happened here was the show ended up being much more successful than they thought it was going to be. It's certainly more successful than any of us thought it was going to be. And I liked it. I had a good time with it. And I think we are now, Chris, I'll dare say weeks away, not even months. I think we're weeks away from getting an official announcement that there's going to be an Agatha season 2. Mm-hmm. And maybe that means they changed their plans with what they were going to do with Agatha and Billy later on or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, what do you think of this move? Or do you think maybe it means nothing and they just think they have a better chance at winning some awards in the comedy category than limited? I don't know. How do you see it?
Oh, I mean, it could be that. It could be them just hedging their bets here and everything. But I do, as I always say, I don't trust and love anyone. And so anytime they say it's a limited series, I'm like, sure, Jan, I bet it is. I think obviously it's going to get a season 2. It's been wildly popular. It's had really great critical acclaim and fans have seemed to really enjoy it. Plus, we have some things that we can tie up here. We've got Billy still looking for Tommy. We've got Agatha in her ghost mentor role. We've got Jennifer Kale alive. That's the most exciting thing to me. Yeah. Jennifer Kale,
just
of course,
flies away at the end.
Flies away. Cousins with Johnny Blaze. This can tie us into Midnight Suns. There's a lot of really fun potential stuff you can do here to keep expanding the more supernatural side of the Marvel Universe, which I think is a fun one to explore, especially if we do have people who are still claiming that superhero fatigue exists. Really, as we've constantly said on this show, it's mediocrity fatigue. But if you do want to dive into that more supernatural, spooky realm of things, that's a great way to still get those Marvel movies out there or Marvel content out there, but explore the dark stuff. Because even though this is being categorized as a comedy, man, there were some really scary moments in this show. There was some straight up horror in this show. And that's when I think Marvel has always done its best, is when it stays near the sandbox, but starts playing in different kind of realms. I want to see them build different structures. I don't want them to always use the same cookie cutters.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Life 360 Tile Trackers. With the holidays right around the corner, it's all about family, fun, and of course, keeping track of everything while traveling or hosting. For me, that's where Life 360's Tile Trackers are an absolute lifesaver. These little things help keep the holiday stress in check. Whether I'm tracking my keys, wallet, or even our luggage when we travel, Tile Trackers make it easy to keep tabs on everything important. Just open the Tile app to ring it when it's nearby, or track down its location on the map if it's a bit farther. I had mentioned this one time I went to a poker tournament in Vegas, and I keep everything, my wallet, my tablet, and stuff like that, in this satchel backpack of mine, and I thought I lost it. I went crazy for hours until I finally realized I had left it in the car. If I had had Tile Tracker, it would have made my life a lot simpler. And here's one of the things I love about Tile. Tile syncs with Life 360, so I can see the location of my family members and all of our tiled items in one spot. So make your holidays a little less stressful and family-proof your season with Life 360's Tile Trackers. Visit tile.com and use the code Campea to get 15% off. That's tile.com. Use the code Campea. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It's starting to look like Agatha was going to get season 2 all along. You see what I did there? And do you think that's the direction they're going? Maybe not. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.